regulative principles. Vedic society is specifically meant for progressive human life, progress in material life, and especially spiritual progress. So there's 4 qualities which, according to Vedic wisdom, are absolutely essential for human life. These are truthfulness, cleanliness and purity, simple living or austerity, and mercy, kindness. So in the Vedic society, those who don't have, if a person doesn't have these qualities, then they're not considered to be a human being. Very strict. Called Dvipada Pashu, means an animal with 2 legs. These 4 qualities are called the 4 pillars of religion, and they're gradually destroyed in the cycle of time from Golden Age, Satyayug, Silver Age, Treta Yuga, Bronze Age, Dwapara Yuga, and then Kali Age, Iron Age, the Age of Kali, which is what we're in now. The Iron Age of hypocrisy and quarrel. So in Kali Yuga, this Iron Age, there's just some truthfulness left, not much. There's specific sinful activities which destroy these 4 pillars of religion. And these are meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. So regulative principles, or the 4 regs as they're otherwise called, means refraining from meat eating, refraining from illicit sex, refraining from intoxication, and refraining from gambling. Meat eating means meat, fish, and eggs. Even if they're unfertilized, it's still meat. And we also don't eat onions and garlic. Then intoxication means alcohol, tobacco, any kind of intoxicating drugs, hallucinogens, and so on. And also tea and coffee, because they're also stimulants. The 4 pillars of religion are essential for human life, and what to speak of spiritual life. So it's essential to refrain, to observe these 4 regulative principles, to refrain from these 4 illicit activities. And generally speaking, it's an absolutely necessary condition to get initiation. One has to promise to observe the 4 regulative principles and already be observing them. Somebody may say, why make all this fuss about sinful activity when we're just trying to have a good time? But this having a good time, trying to control and enjoy material nature, is specifically why we're stuck here in the material world. These specific activities are a huge obstacle in spiritual life because they particularly increase our attachment to material energy. Meat eating, it's unhealthy, unethical, it's bad for the planet, and it's terrible karma because those who eat meat are preventing other entities from making the proper intended use of their body for material and spiritual progress. Illicit sex, obviously it creates a huge attachment for the body and mind, creates a social disturbance, a psychological disturbance, and it also creates unwanted children, and that makes more social problems. Intoxication prevents the mind and senses from making proper contact with reality, so there's no possibility of spiritual realization. And gambling creates intense addiction, and it's bad karma because we're supposed to earn our living by an honest livelihood, by honest work. So these regulative principles, abstaining from meat eating, illicit sex, intoxication, and gambling, they're not meant to imprison the soul or make life miserable. On the contrary, they create a situation which is favorable for progressive spiritual progress. Of course, just following these principles is not in itself spiritual life. Our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, he said this is just for human life. But when we follow these principles and at the same time practice spirituality, practice Krishna consciousness, bhakti yoga, then we can make solid progress. So these regulated principles, our Srila Prabhupada said, they're the regulated principles of freedom.